I really to change my battery.
Hello again, this is Brian Lass, your special education teacher here. Today I want to share with you our last segment here on visual literacy, and I want to share with you about the change of um, visual literacy and how we use it and the way we think about it now. So I shared with you in the last I, the last sound recording that we have started making that move of changing to more doing visuals and images to teaching even writing or reading so that kids are able to comprehend it and have retention of that as well. But here are some things I just want you to think about this. Um, when it comes to change, so if you think about it, I'm going to read to you 8 words or terms that didn't exist or were relatively unheard before the beginning of the century, and see if you can guess what some of these are. The first one is infographic, kinetic typography, screenager, binge watch, emoji, meme, Vine, augmented reality. So if you're not really sure what any of those 8 words are, you can do a quick Google search and it'll basically tell you what the definitions are, those 8 words, and show you lots of examples. But the thing about it is that it all points to and it's connected to a way of looking or watching something. And they're typically full of images. And it's amazing how children or young people today, they're so gravitated to images. That's why they use things like Instagram and Snapchat and things. It's because they can post things very quickly and get things out there very quickly. And typically, it's not just the text they're doing because it's a lot of selfies, it's a lot of images, it's a lot of what they're eating. Now, when you go on Facebook, now it's amazing how people are literally filling up Facebook full of either their pictures of what they're doing or pictures of what they're cooking or pictures of what they're wearing, or it's just a lot. There's a lot of images now, and it's really starting to change now, where people are really beginning to desire images instead of text, and they want not just a little bit of image; they want some high quality images as well. And so, as you can see, that we're in a place where we want that we need to be able to increase visuals. Now, as a special education teacher, that's one of the things that we actually utilize in our lesson plans and we utilize in our teaching strategies as well. It's using visuals because, like I said, most of our students are visual learners and they need that to help them to understand. But also we're learning as well as I'm learning, and which is changing me as well as a teacher, is being able to teach reading using visuals. And it's amazing how I use this curriculum. It's called A to Z Reading, and it's really it's kind of like most of our kids are on this AA level, which is kind of like a pre-primer level for reading, and it's basically has maybe one or it has like 2 to 3 text word, but it's really full of images. And so when they read it, they'll say things, read it, and it'll start off with this is a boat or this is a rock. And it's amazing because they might not recognize the word, but they can look at the image and know exactly what it is, or think or come close to that word describing what they see. Um, but when we do this repetitiously, they immediately make the connection, and it doesn't only take but a few tries, and they're already making a connection. The text rock is the image of a rock. And they're making that connection. And I think it's just amazing how kids learn visually and how they depend upon visually. Even when I'm working with my students, I begin to realize that a lot of times my students are always looking around the classroom to see if the answer is somewhere on some poster or on some image or somewhere. So it's they're really drawn to that, and so it's really helping me to be able to um, use more images and more visuals for them to teach reading, to teach language as well. So it's just amazing how um, it's opening the student's mind for that as well. So, you know, typically images can be used in ways that are ambiguous, and they engage students because they encourage questions from the viewer. And I love that because sometimes we have this lesson that I use. It's called a visualization, and basically it's really a big, huge. It's like a big book, and you open it up, and it just has a simple picture, and basically I show it to the students, and they have to describe what they see on that. And it literally, once they begin to describe everything there, they're able to put it into a sentence. And it's amazing. Just by looking at an image, they can actually put it in a sentence by looking at the images on this big book. This program that I use for visualization. So I also like the fact that we've seen so far that visual literacy in a language classroom is using images for comprehension. And this is really something that's very difficult for my students with autism. They might be fluent in reading, but when it comes to comprehension, there is no connection there. But using visual is helping them and enhancing them to comprehend what exactly is going on and the story's about. So, but these visual literacy, it's all about developing the ability to write and to create your own images. So I think it's just a great way to help students to use visuals and stuff like that. And we've also done some exercises where we had students take an image and they upload it to, let's say for instance, a website called photobabble.com, and it can actually record their narration relating to the image. And then the students will sometimes, in their own way, they will either draw or animate the image that they uploaded onto photobabble.com. So it's just another way of just a powerful combination of just using imagery and text as well. And so, like I said, it's changing how we approach visual literacy in the classroom, and we're using it more and more and more, and we're starting to use more software as more. So I'm excited about the changes, and I'm excited hopefully that you are excited as well, and hopefully we will talk more about this. So thank you so much for listening to this Soundcast. Thank you.